Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the show that's on in the afternoon. We got a great way to end the week here.
Yes, a hopeful way to end the week.
There you go.
Here.
Very hopeful way to end the week. Cathlene Miner joining us.
Yay.
Hopefull Handbags, of course. We're going to talk to her in just a couple of minutes. And we got a lot to talk about. We'll introduce you to what she does if you haven't heard already. And she's got a new book as well.
It's going to be cool.
Out.
Yes.
That's great. Looking forward to talking to her about that.
I love friends doing some great things. You know what I mean? Like really taking a global initiative seriously and carrying it all the way. I mean, we've been interviewing Cathlene for years now. So this will be great to get an update. This will be awesome.
Yeah, really awesome, man. And we will get into that as soon as we tell you about our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln since 1949. They have been more than just a dealership here in St. Johns County. They're a family-owned beacon of trust. They were founded on the principles of honesty, integrity, and community service, and those traditions thrive to this very day out there at Bozard Ford Lincoln. State-of-the-art service facility. It really is the best of the best in our area. 91 climate-controlled service bays. A quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and you can enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge and the unique flavors of Ford's Garage while you're out there. Where else can you go to look at cars or service your car, and you got a restaurant right there on site? Literally nowhere. I can't say literally nowhere.
I'm trying to think.
I'm sure somewhere in the world.
But not, I mean, for our town, this is where you go. Yeah.
Right. They're the proud recipients of the Triple Crown Award and always being named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater. Their team is dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience. Bozard Ford Lincoln offers the best in pricing, selection, and service just off I-95 and State Road 16, where your satisfaction is their mission, and they are driven to inspire. And our inspiring friends at the Bailey Group, because no matter where you want to go, they're going to help you get there together. Their first priority is helping you take care of yourself and your family. They want to sit down with you, learn more about your personal situation, identify your dreams and your goals, and understand things like your risk tolerance. That's going to help them build the perfect customized plan for you. Those long-term relationships that encourage open and honest communication have always been the cornerstone of their foundation of success. Honored to have such great support from folks like the Bailey Group and the Bozards and everybody that supports our network. Just, we can't thank you enough, and you won't be able to thank them enough when you are working with them. 904-461-1800. Honored to have friends like Cathlene Miner as well. Cathlene, welcome back. How have you been?
I have been great and busy.
Good. Awesome. Well, those are two very good things.
But that's life, and that's really what we're here to do.
Means you're doing good.
So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for coming back in. So, Hopefull Handbags. For anybody who may be seeing you for the first time, give us a little rundown of what you guys do, please.
So our mission is we assist survivors of domestic abuse and their children to safety, health, wellness, and long-term stability, but also long-term financial stability, because that is a key.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, it's kind of in that order,
right?
Depending on where they come to us in their journey.
Well, that's part of the reason some people stay with abusers, right? Is financial
85% statistically. Yeah.
Really? That many? Wow.
Or they even go back for that reason. Yep. Yeah. And I think what we have found in the United States as well as globally is that long-term financial stability is not being followed through with one-on-one mentoring. And that is what we do. It is one-on-one. One-on-one. And it is, I mean, you can call it hand holding. You can call it that you're their friend, your best friend for a while, whatever it is, because they have to get a job.
Right.
The people that start our programs, we have two programs, Shine and New, and they're acronyms. Honestly, it's what we've been doing since 2017. However, I had to make it into an acronym and or a title, because when you go to apply for anything, they say, what is your program name?
Right.
And I can't just be like, well, it depends on when they come to us, and we just keep going. And that's exactly what we do. But they get a job between 2 and 4 weeks of starting to work with us, because it is mandatory. And I understand that, I mean, once safety's done, right? Safety's first.
True,
right.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Safety's on its own. Once everybody's safe, then we have to work on that next step. Because if not, we all have to have money to live. And we can't depend on other people. We also don't encourage people to depend on the government.
Right.
If it's there because you need it.
Right.
Use it because you need it. But if you start depending on that stuff for the rest of your life, and you've got aspirations to go further in life, which everybody that we work with does, you're not going to get there from there.
Right.
What if they don't have any direction though? Like, do you help them shape that?
Absolutely, 100%. That's what I'm saying. This is one-on-one.
Gotcha.
And they'll dig out things that they forgot they knew how to do, talents they forgot they had, or just dreams. You know, I had one call me the other day. She's like, I always knew there was more to life than what I was doing. Yeah. And even what I'm doing now is not enough. So now she signed up while working full time and having a child to go do online school full time. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just, this is the stuff. So that is kind of an overview. Now, Hopefull Handbags, bags full of hope. So where does it start? It started because we started filling handbags with necessities to raise hope to survivors of domestic abuse and their children. That's still the base of what we do. But what that really does too is it opens up the conversation, not just for survivors, but for the communities, because we have drop-off locations. People can donate their once loved handbags. They donate necessities. And then they realize, oh, where is this going? Oh, survivors of domestic abuse. Does that happen in our area? You know how many times you get that? Oh, that doesn't happen.
Right.
Actually, it happens everywhere. Or you get or I will say, once you start talking about it, either somebody's been through it, or they know somebody that has, or they know somebody that knows somebody that has.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a broad overview of what we do. But really, I think it's our one-on-one mentoring that sets everything apart. And we follow, I mean, if somebody works with us, it's 1.5 years, 2 years, easy. Now we keep in touch with them forever.
Right.
But, and I say that because it just, you know, down the line, it'll be a little bit separate. There's some, it's every single day.
Yeah.
So lay it out. Like, they call you for services, and like, how do you select a mentor for a person? Is there a personality test that you do? You know, because
there's no personality test. It's basically just who do I think would be a good fit for that person? Where are they? What have they done before? Because we have so many people that come forward and they want to volunteer to be a mentor.
Okay,
which is great, but not everybody's cut out to be a mentor, right?
Story, yeah. It's not an easy topic, right?
It's not an easy topic, but not only that, I mean, get past the whole abuse thing, because we don't look in the past. We don't go backwards.
Okay.
If they've got to vent to us about what they've been through, fine. Well, you know, we know about trauma. We know about all that stuff. We know how to deal with this. However, we're always moving forward, because if we keep going back, you know, you take one step forward and 6 steps back, and that's not where we're going.
I know.
So in healing, we have found that it's the moving forward that heals people to know they can do it.
Yeah.
And no matter, we've all been through things in our life, whether it's abuse or
we are.
Right. And or an illness or anything, right, that we might have had to deal with. And if we always look back on that, we're never moving forward.
Right.
So that's why we always look forward. So in the answer to your question, we just kind of say, okay, this person, this is where they're going. I think they would be a good fit for this person. But our mentors are few. We don't have a ton. And that is just because, not that everybody has to have their own life together before they're a mentor, but also they have to practice what they preach.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen this in life, but especially with social media, we see it a lot, right? There are a lot of people out there who say they're this and they're that, but yet I know what they're doing behind the scenes in their everyday life, and they're not living like that.
Yeah.
Right.
They're showing it. They're acting like they are.
Yeah.
So that's the same kind of thing, to put it simply, that we run into finding mentors.
Yeah.
Because they've got to walk the walk.
Yeah. How many mentors do you have now?
Well, I mean, locally, 4.
Wow, I was thinking you were going to say like 14 or something.
No,
yeah.
Globally, obviously a lot more, right? Because we've got them in different sections and different areas. So we probably have about 20 altogether, but it's not a ton that will follow them. Now, do we have people that meaning mentor, right? Budgeting. Do we have somebody that we can, you know, say, okay, let's work with that person for that. Let's in separate type things. But so we have a lot more as far as that goes, but I'm talking like the one-on-one, where they have your cell number and they are your person.
Yeah. Wow.
Because again, this is 1.5 years to 2 years at least that you're working with this person, and you have to be available.
I'm curious how people find out about you in the first place. I mean, is it usually like, are they going online and looking for resources, or how do people say they find you?
Usually it's Googling.
Really?
Resources, yeah, or word of mouth.
Okay.
Those are really the two ways.
Yeah.
Because we don't really advertise.
Right.
We don't do that. I mean, the only reason why we even do social media, to be honest, is because it costs money to help people. So we need donors to be able to help, right? Even though we are a volunteer organization, we are 100% volunteer. It costs money to help people.
Yeah. Right.
We have to get them there, like, for instance, a survivor, we find, they've got a job, they got to get into an apartment, or we try to find a room for them to rent or something. Well, there's no money right then, right? So who's going to pay for that first month and get them set and their kids set and some furniture and all of that? And then they start taking over. So that's how people find us is just that. And then they work with us. And there's some people that say they have, this is an example, say they have an addiction. Right. Then we've got to refer them to get help with that first. Because again, long-term stability and long-term financial stability is our goal, because we don't want this to be repeated.
And it has to start with those foundations.
Has to start with the base.
Getting some income coming in. Yeah,
absolutely. And so that's why I know I talk about self-perception a lot, what you think and feel about yourself. And that's why I wrote the book. Well, I didn't write the book for Hopefull Handbags. It just happens to be such a good foundation.
Well, it's your specialty.
So it's what you think and feel about yourself. So every person also, male or female, that comes into our programs, you can call it, has to go through the self-perception mentoring. And it's just included with what we do, basically.
You just hit that out of the park, because you just said male or female. I mean, a lot of people think it's women only,
right?
But there's men and children involved.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Women just statistically are the ones that come forward and ask for help. We do help men as well. And probably about 85% of our survivors, and I could even probably say closer to 95 most of the time, have children, whether they're men or women.
What does that look like?
They have children.
Helping the children.
Well, it depends on their needs, right? So, if one of the kids has an anger management issue, then we've got to find somebody who will basically do pro bono work at first to help us get that. We do have a collaboration with BetterHelp, which is the online counseling.
Sure. Yeah.
However, they only start at 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they start at 13. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's the younger kids. And plus, I like one-on-one and in person better anyway. But if we have to, the good thing about BetterHelp as well for us is that they're global. So if we've got to get somebody started, but we're also really selective on the counselors we use. I mean,
true.
Because of the fact, again, we're not going backwards. I understand that people need to deal with trauma and stuff, but in our experience, we have dealt with some counselors that always want to dig into the past. And then, it's like they're recovering for the next week until they see the person again because they just dredged up stuff that happened.
It's like getting burned by an old flame twice.
Exactly. Yeah. And it keeps happening. So we've had to, these are just things over time because, I wasn't an expert in counseling. But I've seen that is not helpful in moving people forward.
Yeah,
it's not helpful. At least for the people that we've worked with.
Yeah.
So.
But those things you talk about, like little achievements, little accomplishments, little things that help boost the confidence, you'll be surprised, and I'm sure you see it all the time, how much confidence you can get from just a small accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Just doing a couple of basic wins every day.
Basic. So we start with, did you make your bed?
Yeah.
You've probably seen that thing that was the military guy who did that speech.
Yeah.
Okay. Very true. Very true. I mean, I have people that will send me pictures. They send me pictures of their made bed in the morning.
Yeah.
There's accountability. I need to see that bed was made.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to get back in it. No, I had one person just recently went out of town and there's the picture. I didn't see the picture of the made bed.
Yeah.
Well, they said, because I was leaving today and they're coming in to make the bed. It's like, unless you're taking the sheets off the bed for the people and putting them to the side, bed needs to be made.
Right.
Okay.
This is consistency.
Exactly.
The other thing we always have everybody do, these are the simple wins, right? Before you get out of bed every single day, and I do this myself, think and visualize 5 things you're grateful for. 5 things has to be. Yeah. This is non-negotiable. And then I have them send me those things.
Because people don't realize, a lot of people don't realize mentally that's a big deal.
Huge.
To start your day off on a positive and optimistic note.
Yeah.
Rather than just leaving it to chance of the first thing that, I used to wake up every morning and the first thing I would do was groggily check social media, right?
I think we've all done that.
Right. And we've all done that. And at a time I realized, wait, why am I starting my day leaving it to chance if I'm going to end up mad at some stupid post?
Right.
You know, it's like purposefully, intentionally start your days on a positive note. And it makes a huge difference.
And that's where those little wins come in. That's where the self-perception, we call it the self-perception makeover, but that's where that comes in, because these are things you have to do every day. And they only take 10 minutes. So if we can start your day off on the right foot, at least you have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start out looking at the phone, or you start off letting your own brain go to wherever it's going to go, typically it's going to go to what's worrying us.
Yeah.
Most of the time, unless we're just in an uptown in our life that we're just like, everything's fabulous, right?
Problems,
Right. So those are things that I find what separates us out from other organizations that deal with domestic abuse is because we're not so much focusing on the abuse, number one. Number two, it's routines and habits. So in the SHINE program, H is number 2 after safety. It's habits. Habits and routines. What are they?
Yeah.
What are they?
My favorite. I love routines.
You have to. And we work on budgets. And the thing is in your budget, if you have, and I will dig in, and if you don't tell me, I'll find out. So you might as well be up front.
Right.
Because I ask a lot of questions.
No nonsense. Yes.
Very questions. I'm called, like people say I have a loving push.
Yeah. You're good.
Because it is push.
You're a mom.
I'll push you with my foot. But, you know, are you vaping? Are you smoking? Are you drinking? Because if we're going to have to assist you to buy food for your kids and get you some rent and pay your electric because you got to get a job and we're getting on your feet, we're not funding smoking, vaping, and drinking.
Yeah.
And that's where the addictions part comes in, right? Are you willing to get help for this? Mm-hmm. And I've had some that say to me, they're not there yet. Well, that kind of puts us too in a little bit of a predicament if they have kids, right? So then we've got it is a fine line, but they either have to, we still then have to end up getting help for their kids in certain ways, but we can't just go all in.
And that's got to be a big tell on if they have the willpower to make big changes, because those are pretty big changes.
Yeah.
But relatively small in the scope of what a lot of people who come to you probably are dealing with, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, if we can't make these first little small changes that are so important, the smoking, the drinking, you got a long road ahead of you for really tackling the very big stuff, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yep. And the people that actually do it and say, okay, you know what, I don't need that stuff. I'm going to, they realize they've got a lot less anxiety.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine
surprise. Yeah.
They're actually enjoying life like as it comes, and they're not they're so used to, and some of them get into those situations because they're trying to basically self-medicate to get out of the bad situation, right? Because they've been in such bad situations, right? So I'm not saying that it was wrong, like they, ended up there just because they thought, oh, let's have a bad habit.
Yeah, no,
it's just
happens.
For long term, our goal really is for people to realize that everybody is limitless. Our lives can be whatever we want them to be, but we have to be in charge of that. We're the only ones that can change it. And then when we start to change our own lives, we have to look around to who are we hanging out with? The 5 people you choose to hang out with, that is your future.
Yeah.
And I say choose because some people have families, some people have, some people are put at work. You might be at, and you're like, God, these people are so toxic.
Right.
Well, okay. But who are the 5 people you choose when you have free time to spend your time with?
Yep.
And then those people start to change when their habits change, when our habits change. So that's why I am such a creature of habit, and I'm okay with that. As I've gotten older, I've realized it brings better people into my life.
Yeah.
Look where I'm sitting here with you guys. I keep end up coming back, and I'm like, because these are good people. But it really does that's what makes a difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it starts with those little things.
Yeah.
And that is what, like I said, I think separates us out from most other organizations.
So let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
When did you decide to really dive in and start writing a book? Because that's no small undertaking.
Well, this
either.
isn't just I have my own books.
Yes.
That I brought.
I love that one. Yes.
This one is everybody needs to do, male or female. But this is our book that we actually got 12 survivors. Well, they say survivors, but not everybody wrote about their abuse. Some of these are just about illnesses or things they've basically taken think about a handbag and what have you unpacked all the toxicity in your handbag and then packed it back with fresh, new ways of looking at things that literally change their lives. And that's what this book, Handbags, is about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is very, very awesome. It's very touching. I love it because, again, everybody that is in this, which is all over the world. This is an international book. And at the end of the chapters, everybody talks about how they got where they are and how it has bettered them by going through what they went through. And that's another thing I think for us all to remember is sometimes we go through these things and we're like, God, why?
Here we go again.
What is this?
Yeah.
But if we can start to learn from those things and realize that we're growing through the dark times, that really will set us up for, again, surrounding ourselves with better people, more opportunities coming our way, and not being down in the dumps all the time. But anyway, this book is absolutely uplifting for everybody. I mean, I've written obviously some in here, but this is volume 1. So we've got more volumes coming. So if anybody's interested in sharing something that they've been through, they can contact us and we'll get this out and going. But it has been, believe it is in safety and I don't know what it's named, victim something. I don't know. I might be saying this wrong. Amazon, it's been number 1 quite a few times.
Cool.
In certain categories.
So going back to toxic people in your life, I mean, it's not easy just to eliminate those kinds of people.
Yep.
What's a good strategic method of like trying to get rid of the toxicity, but without it exploding in your face at the same time?
So I call that weeding out. It's like you weed your garden. Every once in a while, you just got to reevaluate. And maybe it depends on the situation and the relationship, obviously, that you're in with that person. But it's about slowly just not making it a priority, not going to things so much, not picking up the phone on the first ring, or maybe just letting somebody leave a message and calling them back.
Yeah, family members. You don't have to sit next to them at the table. Maybe you're sitting at a different spot. Yeah.
So it depends really on, is it family? Is it friends? Is it work? Is it whatever? But I've always called it weeding out. And I do that all the time in my life. If I start to feel, and I know people have down days, but that's how I describe it to people, and just slowly backing away, because also you're doing that other person a favor too.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a toxic relationship, you're feeding that too for them.
Yeah.
And they need to learn. They're not going to learn either unless they start moving on.
True story.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there was one chapter or section in that book that you hand somebody the book, you say, if you don't read anything else, read this. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, that's really hard for me to choose. And that's only because some things are about illnesses people have been through, and they've made it through the other side. It really depends on the person. But of course, our amazing Sophia Norley, who wrote Escaping Bohemia, that was here. She also has a chapter in here about the stuff that she has dealt with, but she always strikes things in such a positive way. We have another local Suzanne who's in here. And then we have like Annette, who has it. There's just things they've been through. I would say it's really hard because everything is so different in
all
here.
Different stories of perseverance.
Yeah. All of them. And I just have to give a shout out because it's coming out soon too, to Sophia Norley, who is putting a children's book out.
Great lady.
And it's about the stuff that she used to think about when she was scared in bed at home when she was little. And I read it to my grandgirls because luckily they have a very healthy home life. They don't have abuse there. They have a pretty darn good life, right? And I said, well, because I wanted to see if it would relate to everybody. And I said, what do you think? Because the little girl's name's Sophie. And she's like, yeah, I just think that when she went to bed, she probably just wasn't thinking good thoughts. And then when her friend from the moon came, it made her feel better. And she started realizing that those thoughts that she had wasn't real. So it was really nice too, because she wrote the book in a way that it's not now the kids that are having a lot of chaos at home, it's definitely going to hit with them. They'll get it. But then also the kids that don't, but as humans, we do have things, right? Think about the day. Oh gosh, I wish that I would have saved the snail or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not always about these big life. Well, for them, it is a life-changing thing. Like the snail, I could have.
Of course, it's huge.
I mean, so anyway, yeah.
But that's awesome. I love that she ties that in. And a kid's book, I think that's going to go super far.
Oh, and she's just so talented anyway, and really wants. And that's what I mean. We want our survivors that if they want to help other people, some of them are now mentors. So I will say that some of our survivors are our very tight group of mentors who can help, who are helping other people. But we have ways that you can tell your story that will help other people without you having to go and rehash it and reliving it again and again.
Yeah, right.
And they find it therapeutic because not only are they getting it out, but now they're also able to help. They feel like they're helping somebody else because they are. Because if people, when I read something, that's what I used to do at the gym before I started working out at home. I went to the gym because I'd be like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm the ages of these people that I used to thought were older people.
Yeah.
I'd be in my 30s and people be in their 50s. I'm like, if they can do that, I can do it. Now I'm looking at people that I'm like, these are the old people.
But you're amazing.
But anyway, it's like that. Looking that, okay, if they can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And that's what they do by sharing their stories.
Yeah.
That's important.
And that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It's relating to people. Relating to people is huge.
In everything.
Yeah. Yeah. In absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And especially in the areas that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Where can people pick up the book? Amazon? You can find it on Amazon.
You can go to our website and click through there. And I will say, it's just like Amazon, right? I mean, all proceeds for any of the books that I ever talk about, 100% go back to Hopefull Handbags.
That's great.
100%. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Everything does. But if you buy it through our website, we actually get that money. If you buy it through Amazon,
they take a chunk of it. And
a major, like a book like this, I don't know. I'd have to really look, but just from even mine, I think, you get like $1, $2, and you sell it for like $14.99.
Right.
So I mean, if you get it from our site, what we do is we buy them in bulk, and then we send them out ourselves.
It's special.
Then we actually, any of that profit, everything goes directly back to helping survivors and their kids. So
what is that website?
Hopefull with 2 L's.
Love it.
Hopefullhandbags.org.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cathlene, thank you so much for coming by. Always inspiring to talk to you.
Yeah.
Always enjoy
so
the
much to talk about.
Yeah. And we always learn something.
Yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a great weekend, too.
You too.
Heck yeah. I love what Cathlene's doing.
Me too, right?
Just an inspiring person all across the board and just always doing so many great things for so many people. Man.
Giving hope in life. I just love that. And people can rethink
hope
about
is powerful, man. Hope is one of the most powerful things on this planet. So anybody who brings that is a special person. Hey, the Old Town Trolleys are pretty special.
Yes, they are, sir.
There you go.
Very special.
Where you can sit back and relax as their talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine's history, culture, and old world charm while experiencing unforgettable views on their open-air trolleys. You can enjoy the city's European flavor, the brick-lined streets and the sights, such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. 90-minute tours, 22 stops, more than 100 points of interest. And you can use your ticket all day, by the way, for on and off reboarding. It also includes admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, free shuttle service to many area hotels, and free access to the St. Augustine Beach Bus Shuttle service. So you got a lot crammed into one trolley ticket. It's pretty awesome.
I think it's awesome.
Really is. They are the Green Trains. We love them.
And we love Steve Chapman's All-American Air, who have been serving St. Augustine and St. Johns County. They take great pride in providing quality service and installations, in turn gaining a customer for life. All-American Air can match any price, but no one can match their quality and service. Our friends at Steve Chapman's All-American Air will take exceptional care of your home unit. You've got to ask yourself, when's the last time somebody came over and gave it a good checkup? You know, if your filter is gray,
it should be changed today.
All right, 904-461-0070.
And our friends at Bin 39 Wine Bar. If you haven't drinking enough wine, you should be drinking some wine today. That's not their saying, and it shouldn't be because it doesn't roll off the tongue like All-American Air. But they are a great organization. They got some great wines for you to choose from. Over 95 hand-selected wines from across the globe. Many of these you're not going to find anywhere else in St. Augustine. And really in a lot of areas. I mean, they're very exclusive to Bin 39. They're open 8 to 8 daily. Stop by. They've always got live music on the weekends and during most of the week, honestly, in their courtyard. Great place to hang out. Very relaxing. And it's the perfect time of year for some Bin 39.
Yes, sir.
4 St. George Street. Check them out today. Great weekend hang. All right, horoscope time. Capricorn and Pisces today. Capricorn, your ambition is your middle name. But this week, so is burnout. You'll make extensive plans to conquer the world before realizing you forgot to even buy groceries. Your overworking tendencies will lead you to let out an existential sigh at your empty fridge. It's a constant climb towards success while wearing roller skates, isn't it?
Ooh.
Don't worry. Someone else is out there and they're probably having a worse day, but probably you're having the worst.
Yeah, probably.
Pisces. Oh, Pisces, perpetually spaced out dreamer. This week, your escapism will cause you to drift during important conversations, leading others to wonder if you're even on planet Earth. The world might seem dull compared to your fantasies, but beware of walking into lampposts while your head is in the clouds. When reality is hard to face, remember, you can always hide under those blankets you pretend are sea turtle's shell.
A little odd, right?
It's a little odd.
It's a little weird.
It's a little odd.
It's okay. We accept everybody.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You know who else is accepting some things is some applications over at the Jimenez Facio house.
Okay.
They're looking for new vendors for their artisan market. Every first Friday, they'll join the citywide art walk to celebrate local art and community, and they'd love to have vendors be a part of their market. So if you're interested in applying, I'll put some links in comments. They're super cool down there, and they're always with it, and they're just trying to do some great things for some local artisans out there. So yeah, apply today, and you can be a part of the Jimenez Facio House Museum.
Nice.
Hey, Dog Rose Brewing and Billy String's after party that is happening April 3rd and 4th, featuring Sauce Pocket on April 5th. This is going to be kind of interesting. Free music. I like free.
Yep.
So yeah, after Billy Strings, showtimes at 10:30 p.m. Throwdown over at Dog Rose Brewing. It's going to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a big weekend for everybody, so you can plan that out.
Yeah, very nice.
And a big message from Free Kids Academy of Hastings. They offer a dynamic custom education designed to inspire a love of learning. We interviewed them about a year ago when they were getting this up and out. So yeah, choose 2, 3, or 5-day options. They're now enrolling. Step Up scholarships are available, covering about $8,000 in tuitions. That's pretty awesome. So secure your kid's spot today. Go to freekidsacademy.com. There are amazing people out there doing some great things for some kiddos. Greater outdoor time. They have life skills and movement daily. They also have customized learning in smaller classes, and part-time options are available too. So that's kind of cool.
A lot of people love all that stuff.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Something different.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also very cool. Your treatments from Elace Med Spa, where you'll refresh, rejuvenate, and glow at Elace Med Spa. If you're looking for the perfect blend of relaxation and cutting-edge aesthetics, Elace Med Spa is your go-to destination for luxury spa treatments. Hydrofacials, Botox, dermal fillers, laser treatments, they do it all in their state-of-the-art facilities. Amazing place. From self-care to beauty enhancements. Everything you need. The Elace team is there to craft a personalized plan just for you. Check them out at elace.com.
And Panache, they've been living that fabulous life since 1987, and they invite you to their pamper party. Their mission is simple. They're there to sprinkle joy from head to heart, one guest at a time. From a chic haircut to a soul-soothing massage, the team is all about pampering you to the max. Well, what sets Panache apart is their squad of talented experts on a mission to make your wildest dreams come true. Panache is an Aveda salon, an oasis just for you, where innovation and artistry are their middle names. Get posh and go to getpanache.com and get with it, boo.
All right.
I've got cursed foods today. I found this Facebook group. All right, this first one, look at this cake with dentures in it.
No, and the eyeballs, all of this. It looks like they pulled this straight from a dead person and put it in a cake.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all, right?
Not at all.
Look at these donuts on this next one. That's kind of creepy.
I'm not mad at it.
It's
you know
funny.
What? Yeah.
Next up, look at this orange. It's an orange, like Trump, a little Trumpy.
Angry orange.
Yeah. Not the best. Next up, wow, new emoji unlocked. That's interesting.
Okay.
That looks like a Y. That's so
something.
Cool. So fun.
Yep.
How about these muscle bears coming up here?
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Golly. Next up, wow, do you need to get a spoon? Are they spooning?
Yeah. Okay. That's, people really try to pretend like they're chefs and arrange things on plates and think they're really fancy.
That's not cool. Yeah.
It's not the best.
And the next one, wow, this one is not cool either. I don't know.
It's not.
Is that a joke? That's not even funny.
I hope a kid made that.
I hope
really
so too.
Do.
Ooh, this next one, Taylor Swift. My God, that doesn't look like her at all.
Are you kidding me? I knew exactly who that was. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's Taylor Swift. That's amazing. That's a perfect rendition. What a neck on Taylor.
Next up is corn dogs. Well, that's kennel of truth right there, right?
Yeah, right.
And finally, hot singles roll near your area. Yeah, it's the bikini roll.
That's great. Good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Great show. Great week of shows.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.